guys. Welcome to Blank Thought. My name is Michael Williams, and I am your host for this evening, and more likely than not, most blank thoughts. Anyway, so today what I wanted to talk about was a little tune that I recorded, a little song, and the way it came to be was I was working on another tune, and I went and I was like, well, I want to put some synthesizer to this tune. So I go to my synthesizer and I start warming up on it, and I come to this riff that I often play whenever I'm warming up on the synthesizer, if you will. I was like, you know what, hold on. Let's follow inspiration. I put that song to the side and I came to this, and I'd recorded this song based on that riff. Now, the song itself sounded like it was a theme of some sort. It sounded like it was either a theme to a TV show or a theme to a character in a TV show or something like that. And I really enjoyed it. So I made a video about it. And in the middle of this video, I was like, you know what? Let's put in a story about a sound engineer and a vocalist. And so the name of the song emerged. It's called Soundstar Engineer. So let's just say that this is a theme for a sound engineer. I hope you enjoy it. It's a little tune I created here recently. Here it goes. So yeah, that's a little tune that I call Soundstar Engineer. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun making it. Now the thing is my computer that I do video editing on, oh, it is so slow. Oh my god, it's so slow. And that's why I do most of this stuff live. I'm actually video switching through all this. Anywho, let's get beyond that. That's a little tune that I call Soundstar Engineer. I had a lot of fun making it. I hope that you enjoyed listening to it. There was another thing that I wanted to talk about as well, an idea, if you will, and maybe you can let me know your thoughts on this. So, I've been listening up at work. I've been listening to the local radio a whole lot, and the radio station that they prefer is the modern rock radio, if you will. It is the quintessential modern rock radio. See, I live in a kind of a smaller city where they don't have cool radio stations that do all kinds of fun stuff and people going out and doing this and doing that and making events and bringing people in and bringing in all this. It's all syndicated, which means that it's all choreographed and everything. Anyway, I digress. Let me get to the point. My point is, I've been listening to a lot of these songs, even by like older bands, that just don't jive. You know, they don't hit me. So my question is like, so I grew up with like older rock, for instance. I grew up with, you know, everything from mid 80s back. And that general sound, I love it. Even like the sounds of those earlier blues recordings that just, if you will, sound like shit, they sound amazing to me. And now, so my question is, what's the difference? You know, I'll take a song for example, not to talk shit about them, but excuse me. I'll take a song for example. Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses, or Sweet Child of Mine. Actually, we'll say my favorite Guns N' Roses song, which wasn't even written by them. What was it called? We're going to get there. Live and Let Die. Those songs, they sound great. They sound engaging. They sound fun. They like... But I'm talking about audio quality more than I'm talking about, or maybe I'm talking about performance and audio quality more than I'm talking about anything else. Because I heard like the new Guns N' Roses song, and I'm like, as I listen to it, I think to myself, well, yeah, the vocals are there, the guitar is there, the structure, it's kind of what it is, you know. But it's general rock, and it's something I'm accustomed to, and that's fine. But what is it about that song that does not excite me in the same way that these older songs do? What is it about a song by some guy that I've never heard before, you know, that I'll probably never hear? Leadbelly. What is it about a song by Leadbelly that was recorded not even, you know, with the best technology of his time, that I love so much, but a song that is recorded today with some of the best technology that's out there today, you know. I'll take another song for example, that the song that I just showed you with the video and everything. Listen, I'm doing everything myself. I play to a click track. Now, in the past, when I've recorded my old band, when we'd play to a click track, I mean, it just stole all of the feeling out of what we were doing. When we'd play live, I could feel it. I could just get engulfed in the moment. But then we'd play to a click track and try to record the tunes, and we could capture some of it, but we couldn't capture the very soul of it, you know? And that would always bother me, but we did what we could. In a way, I feel like I'm getting over that since I've been recording alone for a while now, recording to a click track. And I take extra steps to, mm, if you will, get out there and do some extra crazy stuff, whatever it is. Or maybe the fact is, I'm not the best musician around. I'm not the best drummer around for sure. So maybe it gives it some life because I'm trying so hard to hit this hit on the click track, but I can't quite hit it. So maybe that adds that human element. You know, like all of my sounds, none of them are done with a DAW. Not really. I use a Tascam Model 24 to record everything, and actually, after that, I have a mix down process from the Tascam into this thing right here, which is just a little Zoom recorder, but it will record in stereo. It's got good audio, and if you will, that's like my mix down, my master. I don't know. What I'm trying to get to is the difference between just a performance or just a song and breathing life into the song. You know, why is it, I guess you could ask, why is it when I can hear all these complexities in these newer songs and I can hear that they are good and magnificent in their own ways, why do I prefer these older songs? And I don't want to say it's just to chalk it up to a preference in taste. I think that's too much of a cop-out. I really do think that there is something to the production quality of it, or the lack thereof, that is just sweeter to my ears, which brings me to another point. Because even back then they had certain, if you will, tricks of the trade that you wouldn't even think about, such as sweetening. The most egregious example of sweetening would be something like Alvin and the Chipmunks, when they'll record everything at a slower tempo and then they'll speed it up so that when the vocals come to, they're at this really high pitch over everything else, and you get that chipmunk sound. Well, that's in effect. Sweetening is more like taking the song itself, recording it at a certain tempo, and thinking to yourself, man, it needs a little bit of extra something. I don't know what it is. So you speed it up just a little bit. This was back in the days of tape. You speed it up just a little bit. And what it does is it makes everything a little bit quicker, obviously, but it also raises the pitch. And that's why sometimes, like, for instance, if I'm practicing piano or just playing around and I'm listening to a song, I'll be playing these notes and I'll be trying to follow along. But whether I go to, say, a G, or if I go to a G sharp, or if I go to an A, none of them sound quite right. It's because they've sweetened the track and it's a few cents off in this direction or that direction. It's almost microtonally positive or negative to one or the other. But in context of the song itself, you can't tell. Someone with perfect pitch could tell, I'm sure, and I think it would probably bother them. But anyway, those are some little questions I'd like to pose to you. I'd like to give you some thoughts, some ideas. I really do think that it comes down to production quality, or maybe more like production methods, because especially back in the days of tape, it was a lot more performed together, at least in the rock genre. It was performed together, feed off of each other, you bring it in, and you mix it later. Now everything is done to a click, and then you snap it to a grid. Everything is Melodyne, and you snap it to a grid tonally. And I think being too perfect about it like that, trying so hard to be too perfect about it like that, steals the soul of the music. Now, a lot of people will argue with me, and this isn't a definite idea, there are a lot of modern songs that I really do enjoy, even songs that have probably been through all of that processing. But the thing is generally speaking, I think those older songs where it was more performance based than it was production based really, really breathe light into it. So, anywho, those are my thoughts for the day. That's my newest song, if you will, or experiment, a little bit of fun. I really enjoyed that, making that. I really enjoyed recording it and editing it, even though my computer was so slow. Oh my God. And I hope you enjoyed it too. I'm going to sign off of here. My name is Michael Williams. This has been another experimental video from the Blank Thought catalog. And we'll see you again. Thanks for joining me.